game 2. Now, consistency with the Broxah on the Lee Sin, that has been a strong pick for the team. I don't expect that to change, but already, bans coming out. Shen, Graves, maybe the Jace again, trying to limit what Wunder can play on the top side of the map. And Splyce just hitting us with the classics.
Yeah, the classic, but they pivoted at the end. They decided to not ban Camille. I think they will this time, though.
I'd like to see a Camille. I mean, technically I wouldn't like to see a Camille ban because I love watching Camille, but I think it makes sense to take the Camille off.
It would be
the board.
advised for Splyce to at least put up a better effort.
There you go.
It's just, it's not that you can't leave it open. It is technically possible. It just becomes a much higher risk here.
Well, one thing that Splyce were not willing to risk in the past was the Varus. It's up. It's available now for Fnatic. If they prioritize this AD carry, it's easy for Splyce to respond, to take the other AD carry away, and it is going to be what they opt for.
Yeah. I would actually like to see a Ryze third pick purple side or red side for Splyce and just pick maybe, maybe not the jungler because they haven't really been prioritizing jungler too much. They're actually switching it up. Okay. You can't do this if you don't care about support or AD carry and you're fine kind of playing lower tier champions, but I would love to see the early Ryze come out and just then ban out the counter champions and then have a strong champion on Sencux.
And when we look at it too, this really hasn't been a story of the bottom lane. Even with the advantages Fnatic found last game, it didn't work out for them. We haven't seen the hard carry potential come from the bot lane quite yet, but once again, Fnatic's focus remains on getting their solo lane or their bot lane early.
Yeah, with the Karma, so they're just going for kind of push city here, forcing Splyce to then match up because Karma into with 2 bad matchups banned out will be make it so that you just get pushed regardless. But if you're Splyce, you don't pick support. Of course, match AD carry if you're worried about this lane. But now Trashy rather needs to make something happen here because he gets an early priority pick on the Kha'Zix. He has failed in the past on these aggressive junglers.
Of course, it's not as easy as it once was to find success on the Kha'Zix either. He's fallen down the jungle tree a little bit, nursed the Q, the isolated AD ratio, as well as the cooldown reduction you get for fighting targets. Means it's not quite as comfortable for you to 1v1. No longer is it quite that highlight montage of just one queuing your way through the
in the duel against Lee Sin in particular, it just all depends on who gets the jump. But even then, Kha'Zix can still win. So Kha'Zix definitely has a solid shot. It all depends on the amount of information. Now you get information by playing around pushing lanes though, and Fnatic have already drafted a lane that will, regardless of what Mikyx picks up, push for the side of Fnatic.
Interesting that they take the Bard off the table. It has historically been a big playmaking support for Mikyx. That Splyce have won games on the back of some of his tempered fates, but not something we've seen focused away very much.
It is just quite good against Varus as well, because when he's charging his arrow, it's impossible for him to dodge tempered fate on 6 in lane. Combine that with Trashy. I wouldn't draft it here personally, but you never know, Mikyx.
Interesting as well, Malzahar taking away stops Splyce from building that same composition where they can single out an enemy target, where they can lock one person down to start a fight. And additionally, 2 tanks banned away from the side of Splyce means it's going to be a little bit more difficult for sOAZ to find that matchup where he will be comfortable.
Yeah, you can go for the rough matchup in Poppy, but we might actually see the Rumble Fiora matchup come out here. That would be super interesting.
Exciting to see. Interesting pickup coming in from Mikyx. Really, once again, saving the last pick for mid. Want Sencux to be comfortable.
It's rough, though. It's a skill matchup that is like 35-65, where if you misplay once and you do one bad hook, you get punished incredibly hard. However, you can, if you can lock down Rekkles with Flay into hook, and maybe Trashy visits, you can smash this lane as well. Because when Trash spirals ahead with the level advantage, you can punish this bot lane really hard. Problem is, it's so unlikely for that to happen.
And once again, is bottom lane going to be the center of attention for Trashy? Is it going to be top lane this time around, or mid lane as well, as the Ryze has been locked in for caps, and we saw exactly how lethal he can be and how successful Broxah was in finding ganks there in the early game in our first match.
Yeah, if you're Splyce here though, I think you don't go for the conventional Cassiopeia. I think you rather would get like an Orianna. Ooh.
This was the Wunder special for that small period of time, and he's already played 1 game on it this season, but now it's being picked up by sOAZ, and a bit of a surprise here. And Fnatic, I feel like very standard draft up until that final pick.
Up until the Kled pick, but yeah, they were squeezed though, so they got all these standard picks because they were heavily pinched in the top lane and they were forced to adapt. And I like this, just like more wave clear and mobility on this mid pick as well from the Corki, and the ability to influence the side lanes and then just play away from the Ryze. So good package usage could open the map, but Splyce here, 5 squishy champions here, no real tank. Incredibly hard to play Thresh without any frontline tanks, because any overextension means you death. You stand still, you hook, you essentially CC yourself. So Mikyx, and he has had a tendency in the past when one death happens and two deaths happen, that many more will follow suit. So we need to follow him in this game, how he does on this Thresh pick.
Yeah, absolutely cannot afford to make those mistakes, especially since he's already been picked, as you said, into that losing matchup. And additionally, when we look at the formula for success that came in for Fnatic in Game 1, it was snowballing picks in top lane, in mid lane. It was Broxah making the plays, and they've set themselves up to do that one more time.
Trashy does not have time to play around bot lane because he will need to help Wunder in the top lane. No gap closer versus this Kled, and the massive mobility boon that both Kled and Lee Sin bring to the top lane, or even a setup that they can do in the mid lane again where Caps can snare into Lee Sin Q. That is where Broxah will be honestly spending all his attention, and that's why it's similar to Game 1. Fnatic had a perma-push bot lane with super gankable lanes plus Lee Sin in the top and mid lane. That was their recipe for success. Can Splyce fight back?
Can they not give up so much, too, as we look forward? This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Your last chance. Head over to Twitter. Vote at LO Esports. Hashtag SPY win. Hashtag FNC win. The Splyce fans ran out last time, but who will win out in this final game? Everything on the line here for both these squads. Determined to pull out of the middle of the pack. Determined to find a clean win here in cross-group play.
Yeah, if we had to guess, based on the drafts, both are definitely playable. Snowball-y. Fnatic seem more comfortable on their champions, I feel. So I think Fnatic actually have the edge in here. Not because their draft is necessarily better, but because it maybe suits their style just a tad better.
I'm ready, Krepo. I want to see, is it going to be the bloody early game? Are Splyce going to be able to stall it out? Because we saw Game 2, the goal difference is essentially non-existent.
I mean, Splyce do not need to stall it out. They want it to be bloody. They just want the blood to be shed by their opponents and not themselves.
I'm nervous for their chances, but it feels like, once again, it could all come down to a single early gank, whether it's the Kha'Zix or the Lee Sin that reigns supreme that comes out on top.
Yeah, both these mid laners have the ability to kind of force an already cracking lane to crack more under pressure by leaving, whether it's the package or the Ryze ultimate.
There's a bear trap on a rope. They're not going to connect in the end, and this is a top lane matchup that we never see, I would almost venture to say.
I mean, barely, yeah. There's when Kled came out, there was whispers and rumors of people playing them, but nobody was too good at making it happen. It requires some team synergy, and there are plays you can make around his ultimate if you really play around the draft that it gives. Like the actual definition, like the wind that it kind of creates that you can then run into.
The movement speed steroid.
Yeah, really big movement speed steroid.
And the other thing too is that so often that when people were theory crafting Kled, the counter was to just you put a tank in front of it and he hits the tank. But there's no tanky member on the side of Splyce. Thresh is the closest thing you had, and you already mentioned when he gets caught out, it's all too easy to collapse. But the aggression already comes out here in bottom lane, and despite the karma, Splyce are not willing to give up the push.
Yeah, very interesting. If you look at the amount of information given away, both teams tell each other that they start on the top side of the map. Both junglers pathing down to the bottom side, so while we expected more pressure to be put on the top side, barring any 3-cam cheese top gank, this is going to end up having the junglers meet in the river at the Scuttle Crab.
So now Wunder winning when it comes to the push, but sOAZ doing a lot of damage with the base ratios there.
Yeah, he's obviously happy. Both junglers start topside, so these guys are going to be happy trading. Early push should be on the side of the Rumble, of course.
And I feel like we're so used so long for the tanks fighting back and forth, and now there's so much more all-in potential on both sides here. Mid lane, though, of course, not going to be the control mages.
Interesting
be aggressive as well.
Interesting that Caps decided to ward there. So he knows Kha'Zix started on red. He knows Kha'Zix doesn't even have that sustain of a clear, and he decided to ward his left side. I guess he just wants to lean left and then have safety in the brush, because even if you lean left and there's a ward on the right side, technically you can get surprised. But even then, I don't like the ward from Caps so much.
Small thing. We'll see if he gets punished for it, as Kobbe's getting very punished in this trade. Fails to sidestep the piercing arrow, and that is a big difference.
He went for the greedy play where you dodge into the lane, so he took 2 extra cannon shots while trying to juke a really good arrow there from Rekkles, and it shows you just, if this hook doesn't land on level 2, and even if it does, like, it is so hard to play this matchup because the pressure will always be on Varus and Karma.
And we saw too, I mean, he has the luxury of holding the arrow. He can wait to see where he's going to juke, where he's going to dodge. He has so much time, and the longer it takes for Kobbe to make a decision, the more damage he takes from the creeps, the more damage he takes from that Karma. I feel bad for these guys that they have to play out this early laning phase. The CS is fine, but the trade's so clearly in favor of Fnatic.
And you say it right there, the CS is fine, and that's all that matters really, because this lane won't get too much turret damage done early on. So in that sense, if they can push out this wave and base, Splyce are happy campers, because they get the serrated Dirk very early on.
Of course, the difference there is that the Doran's blade comes out for Rekkles, so he needs more creeps, more gold in that inventory to get the 1100 necessary for serrated Dirk. But yeah, the key matchup still, the one that snowballed early on in Game 1 and now also in Game 2, is this top lane matchup. 38.7, courtesy of the Gangplank, courtesy of the turnaround in the Baron pit. No longer the Gangplank, but the Rumble could be equally impactful.
And Trashy's here. He's in the top lane, shadowing this lane, so he doesn't want the same thing to happen. Looking for early scene, and again, it all depends on who gets a jump. Can line up the key wards, place. Synchronized warding, 10 out of 10.
Look at the synergy across teams, Krepo. Sonic Wave gives sight, but does burn that cooldown. No follow-up going to come in from Trashy. Smite comes out from Broxah, secures it in the end. And the slow, patient play here, I feel like, just shows us how a little advantage can turn this game around instantly. Neither team wants to commit and be the guy who makes a mistake.
I like the stuff from Broxah, a really confident play. So not only does he solidify river vision, he then invades and challenges Trashy and basically kind of robs stuff away from under his nose. Really like the confidence that Broxah is playing with, because now his two solo laners that need to carry the game have supplementary vision, and he revealed the enemy jungle for quite a while, so this is great for Fnatic. Exactly what they wanted. Trashy here to shadow Sencux to allow him to push the lane forward. Cap's going to clear the wave out quite easily, however. Does have his tier as well, so really no pressure for him to back out. Yeah, always snuck a base somewhere earlier on. Looking to keep that wave. Look, just parks it, makes the meeting point slightly more towards his turret, so he can never truly get rolled or ganked on. Now Mikyx going for a roll. Splyce have the vision. Broxah needs to be careful. Lee Sin is here as well. Gonna spot them both out. Sonic Wave will reveal the plan here. Kobbe not gonna lose anything on the bottom side as Fnatic have back. Splyce look to find an opening, but nothing's gonna come from it. Yeah. And Fnatic bot lane playing pretty passive here. Going for the Ruby, not the tier 2 that we're so used to seeing. I know this is kind of a point overly repeated, but we want to see how Jesiz does it in different scenarios. Once we're ahead, behind, and now even. Again, going for a faster side zone. Fnatic have identified that early vision was part of the reason they were falling behind. Not going to be the issue here, though, as you mentioned. Already comfortable to move towards that. Willing to give up some small advantages in lane. Willing to put vision ahead of the damage output. First teleport gets used by sOAZ. He goes top. Wunder still has his. Wunder still hasn't based, though. This is a crucial point here. So sOAZ very happy that he gets his exact base timing. Hex Drinker on the mark plus control wards is definitely what you want in this matchup. Nice pulls back 2 at low health after clearing the wave. Heals up so he does not get dismounted. Can be disastrous. It's almost impossible to get back on against the Rumble. No way to approach the creep wave. No way to really effectively use the pocket pistol to regain that courage. And now Caps. Is he looking to make the same play that he did in Game 1? Because it technically works against the Rumble. As long as you have flash to get out of the equalizer, this guy is really squishy. And remember, sOAZ gets a massive shield when he wants to move forward, when he wants to charge. So yes, there's the insane Rumble damage, but they do have tools to deal with it. Well, Sencux hasn't based yet. This is actually... It might be rough, because what this is going to do is, like, Sencux won't get punished, but Caps and Broxah actually now have a window to roam top, if they want to punish this base from Sencux. And I think package spawns at 8 minutes. So there's no package just yet for Sencux. He may as well have delayed his base one more wave. Does get the Sheen, though, so will be more comfortable trading, but not going to line up well with the package. Not going to offer more of a global threat as they move forward. Ryze going to get donated the blue buff. Bot lane, surprisingly, even small advantage going over to Kobbe. Good thing to see this early on, especially when we kind of praise the Karma as this absolute end-all be-all of sort of lane pool. Yeah, they couldn't break open the matchup as you would traditionally in a Dorans versus Dorans because of the longsword 3 pots. And now Kobbe and Mikyx actually much more comfortable on 6. They have much more damage and ample opportunity to fight back. And Karma obviously falls off at 6. No damage comes from the ult. Not going to be an issue there for the Corki. Oh, here we go. Kled, baby. Forward. Trashy going to look to body block. Forced to target onto him. Bear trap on a rope comes in. Wunder knocking him down. sOAZ trying to dash out. Joust to safety. Then comes Broxah. Out goes Fnatic. Nice response coming in from Splyce. I wonder if that was intentional by Trashy or not, because it felt like he was trying to get away, and then he realized, oh, I can drag this guy under turret. So
Interesting too. Stealth breaks it as well. I'm not sure if it breaks it after it's targeted. I'd have to look at it more, but I know Stealth breaks it if you on the approach. See if we can bait sOAZ into the towers.
Hard to lock onto targets if you can't see them.
I've heard that. I prefer the like AoE champion strategy where you just throw AoE in their
general direction.
Yeah.
You must be here somewhere.
Kind of just close your eyes and open up, sort of thing.
I mean, it works against most invisible champions because they actually leave a little trail now in the.
I love that.
In the fog to indicate whether you hit or not. Trashy is. This is where you realize you're a jungle slave. You may as well roll.
You're the Kha'Zix. You can carry. Take it for your.
The fact that not only does this mid laner make you like give up your blue buff,
it's like you wait.
You have to stand there, wait in submission. It's like, yeah, get hit one more time. Yeah, that's it.
You're going back. You don't need that health.
Know your place, Kha'Zix. And Sencux goes back to base.
Trackers too.
Yeah.
It's a dark time for Kha'Zix players out there, man.
Back in my day, we would red
Do you remember 2 patches ago
when we could red smite, take all the buffs? But then this Ivor champion popped up, and suddenly mid laners got all these blue buffs really early on.
Silly champion. No one likes Ivor.
So in terms of plays right now that can happen on the map, Sencux could try and push up and go for an aggressive package down in the bottom lane. There is plenty CC available, especially if Kha'Zix joins. They could also use that pressure to then rotate into Nashor, for example. There are no teleports in the top lane, so that could be a good usage of the package. And I think that's exactly what they're setting up, and Broxah now is ready in the bot lane.
Yeah, they are going to spot Trashy out. They see the Corki coming in as well. They're ready for the response play, but the man advantage will be in favor of Splyce overall.
Now Ryze can match this slightly faster than most champions because of the ulti, but there's still the Fog of War. Timer ran out, good cover from Broxah. Package gets used mid lane, play gets negated.
Just pulls back. sOAZ doing well in these trades overall, building a CS advantage, but his is small compared to what we see coming up from Caps in the mid lane. This guy doing well in the matchup. Not sure if it was the punish on the early itemization or if he's just more comfortable here. But small leads being built up across the lanes in favor of Fnatic.
Yeah, but we're still waiting for that key defining play to really break open this game 3 in the series. Trades are nice and CS advantages are kind of minor here. 100, 200 gold isn't going to be the difference here. We need that key ability to connect one player to overstep or make the leap to break open the game.
I mean, we have so many tools on both sides as well to make those plays happen. We have the hook, the death sentence from Threh. And the engage potential, the deadly flourish from Jhin, the follow-up is there, but also you got the Kled ult. You have the Lee Sin on the opposite side. The ultimate coming in from Varus as well.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see Broxah make a lane gang top right now. It's something that is, I think, underutilized, where you just walk in, hide in the brush, kind of surprise people, but obviously if you get spotted somehow, you completely give up the other side of the map. So it's definitely understandable that players don't really go for it. A lot of lack of vision here top side though from Fnatic. Look at it, Broxah moving in again. Really controlling enemy jungle.
Good to see. We saw the same kind of play coming in from Fnatic in game 2.
I meant Splyce earlier. Yeah, topside vision, no vision for Splyce whatsoever. They're losing their jungle. It actually means that Fnatic could rotate to topside with the Ryze and the Lee Sin.
This is the second time that a Splyce roam attempt has been spotted out. Of course, Sencux just poking his head up there, laying down a bit of vision of his own, but Fnatic see everything right now.
Yeah, that ward is basically to prevent the Ryze and Lee Sin to go from top when he's no longer there. So like entry-level wards in your jungler, really, really efficient. Because it looks like Splyce is really pointing down to the bottom lane. That's where they want to go aggressively, so they just put defensive vision that they need in their jungle. It was just a little bit too late.
Of course, they're aware Splyce is here now. Control ward in the bush. Keep Fnatic relatively comfortable, but Rekkles has to be careful.
Here we go.
Oh, moving forward. Hook's not going to connect. Leap out.
Ooh. That is like the lack of synergy on 2 fronts here. Rekkles could have ultied on Mikyx here and actually gotten great punish.
I mean, look, Lee Sin is there as well. The potential to just blow one target up is massive when you look at the damage.
Could have actually just straight up died right there. Now Mikyx going in.
He may die right here. Gets kicked back. Follow-up goes in. That's another first blood for Broxah. TP's coming. Not going to get completed. Running for his life. It's Kobbe. Does make it out in the end.
What is this complete lack of synergy from Splyce? So they move to the bottom lane. Super obviously. Everybody knows what's going on. Kha'Zix goes for Karma. Threh misses the most gamble hook ever under the turret. They split in different directions, and then they re-engage while Kha'Zix is doing Scuttle Crab. This is like 6 instances of, no synergy whatsoever in the Splyce lineup, and good punish by Fnatic.
I mean, so solid. Once again, Broxah finding the first blood. This guy's been all over the place in each and every one of these games. It feels like Trashy is struggling to keep up, and more importantly, Splyce is struggling to put the pieces together because now the CS lead continues to grow in the mid lane. Ryze is free to push, free to bully. Yeah. And honestly, it's a similar story for top. Rumble's doing a good job keeping it equal, but you can see who's keeping the lane pushed.
Ulti comes out. They want to get to Rekkles or slow down Karma here.
Trashy's going in. This could be the double, looking for the reset. It's a lot of damage onto Jesiz. They can't quite get it yet. Deadly Flourish not going to come out, but Mikyx may just give his life. Pulls back, flashes the hook. Yeah. Playing with fire there. Splyce get the 1 kill back.
Yeah, a slight overstaying here from Fnatic. The blast cone really allows jungler and support to jump over the wall kind of unnoticed and close the gap much faster than you would expect here. Good punish. Jesiz uses flash earlier to train out the Kobbe. It was too far up.
Oh, Sencux flashes forward, trades it for the exhaust.
That's a good summer trade.
Flash for exhaust?
I mean, for Sencux.
Oh, for Sencux.
Yeah,
I thought you were like for Caps. It's like,
yeah. I mean, for Caps, it would only be worth it if he has a pressure advantage, but the wave was clear, so Sencux happens. Good shoot by Mikyx. Obviously, had a Flay if it's still connected.
Relatively comfortable, of course. Kobbe, low on mana. Mikyx, low on health. Both laners going to have to back out here, and we'll take a look at this one more time. Yeah,
so this is the re-engage. Look where Kha'Zix and Corki are. This is blind. But did he not even see Lee Sin? There was a ward that he had deeper.
I thought they saw him earlier when they...
Oh no, that's on a control ward, so that ward is disabled. So he definitely did not have any vision. So this was blind flash into lane as Threh. Yeah, no, you can't do that.
I mean, Ooh, not going to follow up there. Mikyx there to back up in the end, but no exhaust means that Ryze damage is all too hard to deal with.
And it just shows you in the competitive play how a single mistake can really cost you so much. Splyce were holding on just fine. They were making attempts and then backing off when Fnatic reacted, but then the single mistake there and lack of synergy or communication loses them first blood and the turret.
On the one hand, props to Mikyx. Flashes over the Varus ultimate, ready to engage, but no one else is there to back him up. Flashy play, but just not worth it. Making
no props.
I couldn't. No, do that, so.
No, don't give him props. He flashed in his Thresh. He was playing solo queue. That's what he was doing right there. It's like, oh, look at me. I can flash over a skill shot. Don't ask me why. I'm just gonna do it.
Okay, I see your point. And now I'm starting to see why I'm not very good at League of Legends. But focusing back in on the
just
real
professionals.
Just
because you can doesn't mean you should. It's like rule number 1. Right now, let's see how Splyce try and remedy this, though. They go into 1v1 again. Corki on a side lane with package. He can handle that for about a minute, though. But they need to make something happen here. Open up, maybe package, Jhin ulti, something.
Oh, curtain call. That is the ultimate we're looking for. Death sentence. Is it going to connect? Does land onto Jesiz. This could be good, but Trashy's going to get locked down, and he's locked down under tower. The stealth doesn't mean anything. 1 auto for Rekkles. It's just the 1-for-1.
Yeah, your invisibility means nothing here, says the tower. Trashy falls, so that's, yeah, a good opener. But again, not enough finesse in the execution.
Yeah, 2K gold lead now for Fnatic. Control of the top side. Top tower looks set to fall if they're not going to look to contest this.
Every mistake they make costs them like a rotation on the turret and chip damage.
Yeah, top lane is an island, but is eventually going to go in the favor of this Kled if they just keep making mistakes.
Ooh, they're looking for Ryze ulti top here. Mikyx's Lantern could prove to be really useful.
Goes for the ult. That does not connect. Interesting.
I think it was point blank. Good.
Needs more time to ramp up there. Not going to get a shield. Now moving forward, Mikyx in trouble. But sOAZ demounted means there's not really any aggressive options here. He's just going to have to back out of this fight or risk his life in an exchange. And Splyce are already moving into the mid lane.
And they're moving to mid lane. There's obviously the wave clear from Varus here. And again, Fnatic there had a choice. Do we push mid? Do we put Ryze on the bot lane there? Or do we go for an aggressive play in the top lane? And the benefit of that is there was no risk of failure. Even if it failed, they could reset the map. So that's why this was a good set of moves from Fnatic. Because they had a chance to kill Mikyx there. It was very close. The snare basically meant it so that Broxah missed his Q, but whenever this Thresh sends out the hook, he CCs himself. And that's the main weakness of this pick. Well, he hasn't really seen play very often because you need really good accuracy to make it work.
Kind of putting a lot of faith in individual skill instead of raw power there. Taking big risks here. And honestly, Fnatic, the only risk we've seen from them in draft is Kled, and only because it's sort of an unknown factor here, but so far, so good. It's remaining relatively even in pressure, losing out now in CS.
Yeah, Fnatic, they're potentially thinking about a rotation bot here too, because Rumble's still basing top. Corki's going to show, or at least get some deep vision bot side, I think is what they were looking for.
Rekkles is caught. Locked up. That's the hook we were looking for. Exhaust goes down, but heal comes out, and he's just going to run to safety. Trashy is here. Snare going to dissuade any further aggression. 1 shot, 2. Looking for 3. Jesiz just going to block, has to flash to safety. 4 shot goes in onto Jesiz. sOAZ on the front lines. A real follow-up. Captive audience, deadly flourish. Nothing going to connect here.
Yeah, Rekkles is out of mana, so he desperately looks for a base here. Splyce, they're trying to make things connect, but not just enough follow-up, not enough damage here. So losing control of the game.
They get 2 flashes, they get a heal as well. They're going to have to capitalize on that if they want to find a way back, because the goal is still very much in favor of Fnatic.
Yeah, but Mikyx had the liberty to play that far forward because he had his kind of eject button with the flash. Right now he's playing a flashless Threh, which is incredibly risky to play. So we need to see good communication between the members right there. Let's see how it all starts. This is the earlier play. Yeah. Trashy takes Lantern. Now he walks back in. I don't think you need to if you're Trashy right there. Also, because they both were on the same spot, it actually forced Trashy to path into
a path around him. It's just like Threh, lose a little bit of weight, but there has to be room there.
Hit that cardio, bro.
Oh, feels bad. But of course, I mean, great punish by Rekkles. Quick reaction there. Now we're going to
keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
I think it's where he gets hooked eventually.
Ah, yes.
Oh no, Trashy isn't even here. Are we live? Where are we? Oh, we're back. We're back, Drakos. But we gotta go back.
It's the butterfly effect.
We gotta go back to the island. No, we're back in live right now.
I want to see it again, Krepo.
How did it happen? Fnatic right now, they're just under 2,000 gold ahead, but they have always the first move to make, and Trashy is looking to really find his impact on his Kha'Zix pick.
Mikyx gets slowed up, Mikyx gets poked there, but once again, game mostly stalled out. Trying to find the big openings. Fnatic found one earlier, it built them a bit of a lead, but they're going to need to find a bit more if they really want to take this game out of control, if they want to find a massive lead, because right now Ryze and Corki comfortable on the side lanes.
Yeah, and that's for Fnatic here. Scaling Ryze on the side lanes is what you want. Corki scales really well, but he doesn't really like playing on side lanes. He would wish he was mid as well, so that's the problem for Splyce. They don't like 1-3-1ing as much as Fnatic do, I think, with their comp. Fnatic run the traditional 1-3-1, but then turn into pincer comp. Having a Kled flying from one side and a Ryze from the other is really what you'd like to see happen.
I mean, if I'm completely honest, what I really want to see is the Kled ult and then Ryze channel the ult so that Kled lands in it as the channel completes and appear in the middle of the team. I don't think that'll happen.
Why don't you like ulti, Ryze ulti and ulting Kled to a different lane? Turn around the pinball machine. I don't think you can do that.
I don't think the range is long enough, but that is a dream, Krepo. That is a dream that I think we
send him back in time.
To.
He ults down the lane, you send him back, and then he ults down again.
If there's no room for him to ult, because you know the longer he goes, the more damage it does, the bigger shield he gets. So, just saying, there's some top tier strats there that I don't think European teams have explored yet.
The Kled acceleration gate.
Get into a custom. Make it happen, people. Show us what you got. Fnatic got a Cloud Drake. Ocean up next. Not really the one that they wanted in this early game, but will add at least a small amount to their already existing lead.
Cav's backing off. He's much more comfortable on this Ryze pick when it comes to side lane pressure as well. Last game we saw him hesitate very often. Should I go for this wave? Can I go? If they come, can I contest? He's so comfortable in juking aggressively on Ryze as a champion already, and he will have that Realm Warp to get out of harm's way, especially since there's not really a cancel on the side of Splyce. If you can avoid some of the damage, it is really hard for Splyce to really cancel the Realm Warp channel.
Broxah leaps to safety, Equalizer goes down. Broxah doesn't really have anywhere to run, but behind Jesiz, good body block comes out. Oh, nice final shot to kill Jesiz. He's the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, he had 20 seconds left on that flash right there, so not much he could do bar jukes, but he was already slow, so it's very easy for Splyce to follow up. The problem, however, is the wave clear is still alive for Fnatic. So yes, they lose the support for Splyce. How do they punish?
Finding an opportunity, Trashy goes forward. Can't look for the dismount. Does find the snare in the end, and goes to Lee Sin. Trashy giving a lot of respect to Broxah.
Yeah, quite surprising that sOAZ wants to take it that far. He loses his flash again. This is a 4v5 map situation here for Fnatic, and they're fighting aggressively.
Mikyx goes for the trick play. Isn't going to work out. Does play the Lee Sin back, though. That will save his life.
Yeah, he went for the Mad Life, or the flash over the wall from Caps here, but Caps makes the smart choice. If you just flash to the river, there's no way ever that hook connects here, but Fnatic playing so aggressive despite being a member down.
And I mean, sOAZ has already used the TP now. They're determined to break this tower. Kled ult is up and available, but he doesn't get to choose who he's going to hit. Mikyx backing out. Maybe this is an opportunity. The slow, the steady siege.
But you may question it, but it is still decisive, so that's at least something for Fnatic here. Want to get things done. Splyce desperately holding on here. They need to move Wunder to a side lane now, because you said it right there. Teleports on cooldown. The way you really punish that is by using it on a side lane.
Well, Fnatic are now moving to a side lane themselves. Caps and Broxah set up in the top lane, looking to get a little bit of pressure. Sencux may not have much health, but he has plenty of wave clear to mitigate this.
And but the whole reason Fnatic can't push through there is because Rumble can actually teleport from mid to top on that control ward too, for example. So Fnatic right now, with that play, they put themselves in a very precarious position for the next 3 to 4 minutes here. Another pick attempt by Kobbe.
Curtain call means flash. Jesiz finally has it up.
Yeah, and they're really using it as a setup tool. Curtain call into hook. If a single bullet connects, it makes it so easy for Mikyx to connect the hook, which then in turn makes it so easy for Kobbe to connect the next few shots.
Good to see these small bits of synergy, these small combos coming out that Splyce sort of failed to execute on in their game one. We heard it from Sheepy on the desk. And for me, I mean, we wanted to talk more about what Jesiz and Broxah do together, where we can see them roaming. And once again, they're spending a ton of time together, but I don't feel like we're seeing them push as much for deep vision. And this game just does not feel like it's as much about what they can do.
And it's also one of the reasons that Jesiz Flash is always on cooldown. Because he's not getting the support from his jungler, or they're not really working together. Now they are. And because imagine if he gets engaged on like that and they can just share the bullets. You each take 2. You don't have to flash them if you're Karma.
Yeah, I mean, Lee Sin, much larger relative pool, a little bit tankier when it comes to stats. Wonder.
He's trying to suck in sOAZ to fight for that turret, but sOAZ yields. Smart play.
Gold now dead even, though. The Cloud Drake, the only difference between the two teams, and it feels just like Game 2 once again. Yeah,
map lead for Splyce because they have teleport advantage, so they just need to force something. But here's Fnatic, the one forcing.
Fnatic wants to go in. Mikyx knocks him back. He's still going to get burned. Kobbe's going to go for a kill. Not going to be enough damage. Oh, gets him in the end. Sencux locked up so he can't follow, but Realm Warp. Equalizer goes down. This is Trashy's chance to sign. The exhaust goes in, but it's Kobbe who's going to start cleaning up house. Wunder moving forward. Caps looking for the knockdown. Here comes the charge from the Kled. He can't cancel it. He's going right to his own death, but can he get one in exchange? sOAZ running for his life, the pocket pistol, but it's the curtain call. The bigger guns win the fight, and Splyce clean up.
Yeah, shine bright like a challenger for Splyce right there. What an aggressive move by Fnatic, but why would you ever engage when you don't have teleport advantage? I don't think that's going to kill.
Trashy.
No.
Edge Knight blocks the deadly flourish.
But why would you make that move, Fnatic? What a punish from Splyce. The teamwork, the turn. Rekkles gets sniped. Yeah, look at him. He knows.
One shot, one kill. Splyce now looking to take down a tower as well. And this is very similar to what we saw in Game 1 once again, because we saw overcommitment onto a support target, overcommitment onto one person, burning the burst too early.
Yeah. The hook is down. They open up on Threh, but right now, you don't have a way to cancel the Rumble teleport. You don't know where Kha'Zix is. Sencux goes in and punishes, and at this point you're seeing Ducks. Remember, this is a team with an equalizer and a Jhin ultimate available. Now I want you to follow and see what happens here. And Splyce, they're not good teammates because they leave Wunder to die. But Trashy actually accidentally still takes that Kled ulti because the Zonias runs out just a fraction too late, and they make it work.
It's a small mistiming.
They were trying to sell him. Poor Wunder.
Okay, I kind of want to see this, so I hope we get it.
Yeah.
Edge of Night, great.
Great Edge of
Love
Night.
that item. And then...
But Rekkles got sniped. Where is there? Yeah, there's vision. So Rekkles should know. Because when you already get sniped in that position, guess where the ward was? Right there. Don't walk that way again. Walk into your jungle and be safe. Because he just dodged a deadly flourish with Edge of Night. So they must have had vision on him. So they don't randomly cast this into the Wraith Pit.
Apparently they had vision on Broxah as well, because he's dead, and Baron is very much in the eyes of Splyce.
Could be a throw though. These are 5 squishy members that don't tank very well. They do a lot of damage.
sOAZ is ult again as well. He's moving forward. Equalizer goes down on the backside. There's so many low members in the pit. The Baron is low. Smite comes down onto it. Kobbe is left alone looking for the duel with sOAZ. Gets the 4th shot out, but it's not enough. The remaining members of Splyce take down Caps with the arrows coming up. No mistime this time, but not enough.
If it wasn't for the exhaust from Mikyx, that was a 1v4 quadra kill for Caps. No joking. He was so close to finishing them all off right there. But a good exhaust allows him to live, but he still sidestepped the hook here. And again, a 1-for-2 kill exchange on a Baron start by Splyce. Way too rash. Just because you killed the jungler with your comp in mind, you can't just start these panic Barons.
And the question is, what are they going to give up for it? We look back on this now, and this just feels so greedy.
They just follow Caps in this fight. Sidestep 1, sidestep 2, jukes hook 3. Goes to Sencux with exhaust. Goes in, doesn't get flayed. Mikyx goes in, he flashes for Trashy. Now this exhaust right here means he can't get Mikyx, he can't get Wunder or Trashy, and they clean up. But he did so much work on his Ryze. Much better pick than the Malzahar.
A single missed Q and an exhaust coming in shuts down what could have been a highlight reel moment for Caps. And really, we can praise the exhaust from Mikyx, right? We can say that they mitigated the impact there, but they are the ones that gave Caps the stage to perform on. They're the one that said, hey, we'll give you the chance to get a quadra kill.
Yeah, go for it. Let's see Splyce right now. They should still be in control. And again, they have this really good pick setup. That's what we're talking about. When the map is open, the 1-3-1, that's what Fnatic want to play. When the map kind of closes in and the Rumble can facilitate the follow-up from the poke and the Jhin damage, that's what Splyce want to do. Rumble ulti is just an activator of this team comp, because that also allows Mikyx to finally land hooks.
Every slow, every small piece of CC. There's not a ton of hard CC on this Splyce lineup, but everything can set up the Jhin, can set up the Thresh as well. Cap's now split pushing. He remains uncontested, and Splyce, they had the gold lead after that misplay, and now they're giving it up.
But the difference is they got the gold lead because they were capitalizing on a teleport advantage, right? But Fnatic's composition is better at neutralizing the map than Splyce's is, because they can run 1-3-1 so well. So that's exactly what they're doing right now. And that's why it looks like Splyce is losing the gold lead again, because they no longer have teleport advantage for Wunder to TP away from sOAZ. sOAZ can match. And also Fnatic have learned. They now have learned that they shouldn't just blindly engage on the support.
Not going to give up that advantage again. Next major mistake. I mean, could be once again the defining factor we've been waiting for, we've been looking for. We saw it so early in game 1, much later in game 2 in the Fnatic Baron attempt.
Yeah.
Splyce give up a sloppy Baron.
Side lane's pushed. Fnatic group in mid, so they're looking for a Kled play here on any member overextending. They can engage on the support if it's sOAZ doing it.
Wunder and sOAZ about to meet in the jungle. Not going to look for the fight, not going to look for the commitment.
No, they're splitting out again. They only had a window of about 20 seconds. By the time the side lanes bounce back into them, they need to catch again. So it's a give and take right here. But I like it. So they're spicing it up. They're not always just basing return to lane, basing return to lane. They're switching up the map configurations to hopefully confuse Splyce, catch them off guard. Now Splyce are looking for deep vision.
Trashy potentially could overextend here. We'll see the ward get dropped down. Knows that Fnatic see into the jungle. Corki gets a tower in the meantime. Once again, small gold advantage for Splyce as the pressure evens out. Kled's on the bottom side. Yeah. Someone's going to have to respond to this.
That's the problem. Now sOAZ can technically peel off, run to mid, ulti in, for example. That is Kled's gameplay pattern if he has side lane pressure. That's why you see Splyce always lean to the left side. They do not want to get ganked by sOAZ.
And of course, I mean, technically a pseudo-global ability.
Yeah, Fnatic, they peel off as well from top to mid right now, but there's no wave because they want to get this mid lane turret. So because there's no wave, sOAZ goes back to bot lane.
Call up, hook lands onto Broxah, follow up, looking for a bit more damage, not going to find it. Tower goes low, ult comes out, Wunder's in trouble, Realm Orb's coming in, Wunder's left alone, and he's just set him up to go golden, just to drop in the end. Equalizer to dish out the damage, but Fnatic find the pick.
Yeah, Wunder's so desperately trying to react to good sides of Jesiz. 1-2, hook goes wide. And that was great from Fnatic, because they kind of faked out the collapse on mid lane. Wunder was so desperate to finally get some side lane pressure in his bot lane that he overextended. And then Caps, he ran down from top to mid to Realm Ward bot. Again, he's influencing the map with his champion. Much different pick here, much more comfortable on the Ryze.
Good to see from Caps. It's exactly the sort of pick that we wanted. Not the Malzahar, not the reactive pick overall. And it means Fnatic now finally are in the driver's seat when it comes to pressure. Gold's still slightly in the favor of Splyce, but it just doesn't matter 32 minutes into the game. The 1K advantage is not a make or break point.
Yeah, we're seeing a familiar old style return to the Fnatic organization that it seems to work best for them when they play around the top side. They play around their solo lanes and they just pick a pushing, sustainable farming bot lane for Rekkles and Jesiz.
Working out, I mean, really well. And Rekkles not really needing to be the center carry. Jesiz potentially in trouble. Sencux very aggressive. We'll force them back. We'll guarantee a little bit of vision into that jungle, but Fnatic is grouping up.
Yeah, Fnatic must be pretty dark now for them. Dear Baron vision, probably not the best here.
Splyce moving forward, maybe looking for the bait. Deadly flourish.
Yeah, look at it right now. The second this mid lane gets pushed, it's going to get real dark real quick. And that's really good by Splyce, because they push mid lane, now Fnatic have to catch. And look, Splyce could technically be on the Baron already for 5 seconds right now. So that's blue tree it down. And
Rinse
they
and
could be on
repeat.
it right now, for example. This Baron could be on 5K, 4K, 3K. This is what's going through the minds of Fnatic right now. This is why they're panicking. They're sending in kind of fake Realm Orbs, and then they find out, okay, they're not doing it. And now the play goes back to Fnatic.
Vision cleared out. Splyce will clear the mid lane and look for the rinse and repeat, but Fnatic may be the ones looking for the fight. They're split up, they lock down Wunder, Equalizer comes out, that's a good setup. Curtain call going in, Trashy on the backside looking for the 1v1 on sOAZ. He makes it out, but he's ticking down. Deathfire touch, not gonna be enough. Mikyx on the front side. Caps goes in, that's gonna be big. Wunder's gonna get taken down. No Zhonya's from the last play. Means Fnatic find the kill, but they're low, and they have to play smart.
Yeah, they have to play smart, but Trashy is going back to base here. They have poke and they can rotate for the dragon. That spawn is still a minute, so they can't, but they can definitely look at this mid lane turret here.
sOAZ, here comes the charge. It's Mr. Kled's wild ride, and Mikyx's gonna be up. He gets burned down. Sencux could be next. Joust forward, looking for a bit more of a kill. That might be too greedy, but sOAZ is unconcerned.
Mr. Kled a little crazy right there.
All right, too deep.
Too deep for sOAZ, but I like the whole setup here. Both plays were really interesting to follow. Jesiz drops.
Oh.
There was a random trap there, I think. Did he walk on a trap, or maybe he just spawned a trap as he died? Anyways, Kobbe gets a kill. But the whole setup, it was so interesting to follow because in so many scenarios, Splyce actually get that Nasher. But they wait patiently for the fish stick. Fnatic's patience pays off, and then they turn the play upside down with a really good re-engage, actually, from Caps onto Wunder. But now they make a mistake on the back end because sOAZ goes too deep. Now the advantage goes back to Fnatic.
Oh, this could be the 50-50 Baron. They're burning it down quickly. They have 3 damage threats here. Sencux is there to zone.
Yeah, Wunder is actually relatively tanky right now. Trashy is more sustained. They also have long-range redemption coming in. And the problem is, it's not a 50-50 because Lee Sin can't enter the pit. There's too much damage. And this is sOAZ technically throwing the game.
And say one thing about red side, the pick ban may be harder, but it's much harder for Lee Sin to find a way into that pit in the face of Sencux.
I mean, this is the foiled Baron for Splyce, so they're looking for ground in the game. They open up, disengage, Equalizer goes wide, great. sOAZ does a good job peeling here, gets off his mount, and then Wunder, this is a pathing error from him that gets punished immediately from Caps. Broxah also debatable whether he should go in there, but here Fnatic have won out. They make a pick. Look at, imagine a world where sOAZ just turns around right now. The map control that they have, but they greed so hard and it costs them a Baron.
Not where you want to be. This is the break point we talk about. We've been waiting to see it. It happens 36 minutes in, and this could be another one. That's a massive equalizer. Caps gets popped. This is going to be all too easy as Splyce find a pick, and it could be the Elder Dragon next.
Yeah, they can just start this Elder right now, force Fnatic to contest and look for more leaps forward here. What a beautiful equalizer from Wunder.
Broxah waiting in the wings. Can he steal this? Q goes in.
Connects.
Holding, patient. Splyce waiting. Get it in the end. Nice patience on the burst.
Yeah, and that's the communication you need from Splyce. Hold out the Lee Sin Q and then call a burst moment. 2K, 1.8, call whatever you want, but then do it as a team. There's no way Broxah can steal.
Objective control was such an issue for Splyce in the past, but they clean it up here when it counts the most.
Yeah, Broxah and Caps lost both their flashes in the last fight as well, so they're looking at this Splyce siege. This is where Splyce is strong. They don't have a front line. Now the minions can be their front line to keep targets busy to just land that poke.
And look at the damage with this Jhin, with the Corki in the mid lane. Towers don't stand a chance. Yeah. Caps up in 6, and Fnatic need to find an opportunity quick.
Yeah, both have cannons as well here. Range extension on the siege here. So easy for Sencux to land poke and just stand a little bit further away with the autos sometimes as well.
Slow setup. Siege minion going to start to take it down, waiting for the rapid fire cannon before we can get that one. Ticking down. Minion not in range to disable the bonus armor and MR.
Look at greedy the setup is. Kobbe is already setting up the next lane. They're done.
Kled on the bottom side, just trying to get something, but he's going to have to back off. He's going to have to be ready for a fight, and the Edge of Night going to stop anything from going down too quick. Say what you want about a 1K gold lead, but a 5K gold lead at any stage of the game is pretty big.
I'm still very surprised that Splyce did not elect to just go for the group finish on at least an inhibitor in the mid lane. They just want to pick up as much gold on the map, it seems.
Corki, Rumble on the bottom side. Maybe now they're going to look to get a little something else, but the tier 2s seem all too easy to take.
Very dangerous to siege if you're Splyce when you no longer have this Baron buff. Because with the Realm Orb and with the Kled Ultimate, it is very easy for Fnatic to punish flanks here. Teleport is available soon on sOAZ as well here, and there's plenty of wards that you can technically teleport to. So this may be a late engage here on the inhib from Splyce, but they get it in the end.
Pulling back have package as well, so could potentially win a team fight. Still have to respect the flank from Fnatic. May look to rinse and repeat on the top side. That could be an opening.
This is where vision control is really important. There's luckily no deports here. Because of Broxah obviously haven't been in this area for quite a while. And you can't teleport to blue wards. But if there was a ward, that is the dream here. Look, they're setting up for a potential realm warp too. And you can drop sOAZ. Maybe top right and then have a multi from behind.
Flash, hook, connects onto Broxah. That's a good start to the fight. Lee Sin's gonna get taken out. Mikyx with the trick play. sOAZ on the front line. Equalizer to look for the disengage. Wunder flashes forward. Has the Zhonya's up and available. Someone needs to tank the tower aggro. Kobbe's gonna make the hero play. They pull back. He'll take a little bit extra, but Splyce are gonna grab the tower.
Yeah, that was a good Varus ultimate right there. Fnatic looking so busy at looking what they were going to do that forgot about Mikyx.
Say what you want about the Thresh, it may be so hard to find those hooks, but when you got Baron buff, when you got a fed team standing behind you, it's easy to just throw that out.
That's the cheerleading squad at that point. Like, everybody's like, go, Mikyx, go. Plant that hook. It's okay if you fail. Like, that's a dream scenario for Thresh when you're this far ahead. That's why this pick, it just doesn't play well from behind. If you're on Fnatic, imagine if there's a Thresh in Jeziz's place. Sent out a hook, it's popped immediately. But look at this. Fnatic, no, the second they walk into that path and they see Rumble, it's like, nah. This is not going to end well.
Oh.
Ooh. You get the spy cam. Look at it. Oh, one more time.
Give it to me in 3D. Just keep running it back.
This is 3D.
360.
Yeah, give me the Dolby surround sound
give
system.
me the 7.1.
Yep.
Oh. Rumble mains out there, enjoying their brief moment in the sun. They get to be like, oh.
Yeah, I did that once.
Clean equalizer.
That was a key pick-off from Wunder. And again, it's a pivotal matchup here. Wunder versus sOAZ. sOAZ taketh, but then sOAZ throweth as well.
Oh, Mikyx going forward. Hooks up sOAZ, decent damage, locked up. Now looking for the curtain call. One shot, two, connecting onto sOAZ. He's going to dismount. Broxah moving into block.
All right, final siege here. Top lane inhib is open. But again, Splyce, their composition likes keeping the map tiny. They don't want to split up because it's very easy for this realm and Isnar to make lonesome picks.
Fnatic backing off though, respecting the equalizer. Can't afford to get caught out again.
I mean, Splyce, they're going to cash in on all the gold that they're sitting in their bank and they're going to start setting up. A minute and a half is generally the time where you want to do the final push on the waves and then move to a Nashor area to set up the vision. There's no wards really here on Mikyx, so I'm actually surprised that they're rotating for the final inhib as opposed to just basing and setting up vision.
Once again, the gold lead very much in the favor of Splyce, but we've seen teams throw away something greater.
Yeah.
Fnatic just looking for an opportunity, and Splyce...
Look at them. They realize it now. So they oh, Fnatic's going.
Going in, charging into the front lines, looking to find something. sOAZ isn't going to get anything in the end, but Mikyx's going to get caught out. That's a massive pick for Fnatic.
I love seeing this punished because this is a mistake and was completely unnecessary for Splyce.
Caps is going in. Nice shield coming in on the Saracen Brace. Kick back. Caps knocks him down.
And guess what? It's 45 seconds to Baron right now. You don't have control of the map if you're Splyce. They had plenty of time, ample of safety and vision.
Backs are canceled. Redemption got used to cancel the backs. They're looking for a way in. Moving forward now. Trashy's on the side, needs to land some damage, needs to get it so they can find the deadly flourish. Not gonna find it.
Something needs to happen here, but it's not happening. And Fnatic, they get their hope back to do something in this game. Imagine if Splyce just based, walked up the mid lane, set up the vision, there was nothing Fnatic could do. Fnatic would have ulted into the abyss. sOAZ would have found nobody there.
But the canceled backs means that Fnatic couldn't quite as confidently walk into the pit.
And what a great read from Fnatic as well, because we're talking about how Splyce maybe should have not done that, and you know, negative Nancy Krepo, but what a read to just go in. sOAZ knows if he doesn't stop the setup right there, it will get completed. It will be much harder for Fnatic to find back. And on the back of that play, they're now going for a risky Baron. It may backfire, but they just want to fight their way into this game.
Oh, equalizer, they're trapped in the pit. sOAZ is 1v1ing the Baron. The curtain call comes out. Redemption gonna stop the damage.
That's two ultis though, traded for maybe a good fight. They need to base right now and get a way to use Realm Warp to their advantage.
Oh, sOAZ needs to stay mounted.
Oh, and look at the base. Splyce seem to hesitant, like make use of patience here.
Wave crashing in. Someone needs to respond. Splyce advancing onto the Baron. Lee Sin backing off. This will be the Baron for Splyce. Fnatic.
Rash from Fnatic, but they knew they were with their backs against the wall here.
Baron drops 8k gold up for Splyce. This is their moment to close out, to clean up, to find their win over Fnatic, to move up in their group.
That brief mistake from earlier, slate wash clean. They can just set up again, do the same thing they have been, keep the map tiny, use their poke, use their damage. That's the problem right now. There's only 2 threats on Fnatic, Caps and Rekkles. And they don't have enough damage to take out the 4 threats on the side of Splyce here.
The exhaust from Sencux is gone, though. This could be an opportunity, but Mikyx has one as well. And once again, we're grasping at the smallest of opportunities for Fnatic.
Fnatic might just hard commit here and hope that Wunder does not teleport in time. Wunder is about to show.
We've seen Splyce fail on communication before. This is potentially an opportunity.
They need to wait at least 30 seconds before they even try to hit this inhibitor. Anything more is just borderline cocky if you're Splyce.
Caps walking forward, clearing waves, stopping the Baron and empowered minions. Wunder's now going mid to get the push going in every single lane.
Yeah, they want to do a 4-1 split push, but they don't want to do it top. So Rekkles reacting.
Flash forward, flash out, charge goes in. Trashy looks to be the one who's going to get caught up. Pulled back to the team, and in comes Wunder. Almost perfect timing. sOAZ needs to find a way out. Looking for the Realm War. Back, curtain call going in. Jesiz might be the sacrificial lamb. Broxah wants to go in for the save. Kicks 2 back. sOAZ still alive. Guardian Angel ticking down. Wunder so low. Caps on the front lines. Kobbe going to find a kill onto Broxah. Splyce in absolute control. Yeah,
Splyce read the re-engage from Fnatic. Right now, Caps is under pressure. He's dropping low.
Isolated. He's going to drop. That's the double kill from Kobbe. Mikyx brings it into the fight, but they're under the towers. The damage sources are all but dead, and Splyce are cleaning up after a terrible game 1. They find a way back in game 2, and here in game 3, they might just win it.
Yeah, Fnatic pulled the trigger decisively in doing so, but they also revealed it too early. It was too easy for Splyce to walk back. It was too easy for them to kite, and it's now too easy for them to take the final Nexus turret.
1 tower drops, another to fall. They're burning down Fnatic. They want the members. They want the base. They want the series. Splyce find the win.
And you can see the strain this series put on both teams here. Splyce, Yamato, very relieved, but this team definitely knows it came too close.
I mean, on the other side for Fnatic, we talked about how much both teams need to find the win here, and it has to feel crushing to be so close to victory and not to be able to find it in the end. But Splyce, so critical in the first couple games about their communication, these small moments where everything fell apart, but when it really mattered, when it counted most, they brought it together. And so much of that was Wunder and the equalizers, but also the team being there to follow up immediately.
Yeah. And more importantly, they bounced back. And resilience is an attribute that you definitely want to nourish and cultivate if you're Splyce right now. Because you can't rely on that kind of 16-2 summer split end that you had, you know, that propelled you forward into the split. You need to learn how to deal with failures and mistakes in the game and still bounce back. That's what they did this game.
Mono. Single. Smile for the camera. Earned the series in the end. Fnatic, I feel like we saw marked improvement in some areas. In other areas,
but we also saw some big juicy throws, we have to be honest. There's definitely a world where Fnatic wins this series. But I like that they tackled some of the core issues that we had already kind of tried to research. So there is improvement. So if you're a Fnatic fan out there, don't get too upset because there was a marked improvement in what I think is kind of setup and attempt, which is more important than in the end result because you're building towards playoffs, right? Like
yeah,
they changed gameplay patterns in terms of vision. They tried to get more synergy together. They were decisive as a team. Like they had some plays where all 5 committed. You can question whether that's the right play, maybe not. But they were all in it together as a team, which means shot calling dominance kind of is definitely present there. So now they just need to refine. So there's definitely hope. But it's a lot of building that's left to be done. Is 4 or 5 weeks enough? I don't even know if Fnatic is like practicing during Katowice because I saw some tweets of some members going for like fan meets and stuff. So I'm actually quite surprised there. We'll have to see whether Fnatic can actually build up to become that top-tier team again.
And once again, there could be no doubt that both the teams showed us improvement this week. That we saw some issues work out. And overall, for me, it feels like this was better from both teams. I want to see if they can start to contend for that second place spot as they move forward, because they look very comfortably in third now. And if they keep growing, if they can grow faster than Misfits, grow faster than H2K, both those teams occupying the second seed slot, like maybe.
It's a tall stretch, though.
Yeah.
It's going to get rough.
Absolutely fair. I'm curious, once again, how it'll come up, because both of these teams have much easier matchups in the future. But for more on that win, let's go send it over to Pyrotechnics on the stage, who's joined by one of those winners.